Hi, this is Matt Giggs and welcome to my leadership series. I hope you get so much from this. As much as I've enjoyed giving it, I hope you're going to take some of this work into your business so you can help you and your business to grow. Who's in control of your business? It's basically like asking who's in control of you, okay? Now, how do you determine, how can you answer that question without clearly knowing? Well, there's basically, I was just in Costa not long ago and I've got a lot of Costa stories. I tend to spend a lot of my time, I should be sponsored by Costa right now. In fact, we need to ask, Bill, we need to get in touch with Costa. I want to know if they want to sponsor this series of leadership videos. But no, seriously, I was with a guy, he just came in, he parked up and he said to me, how's it going? And I said, it's going really, really well. He said, and I said, how's it going? He's a business owner. He has a kitchen organisation, kitchen business, really good guy. And he said, it's tough. It's really tough at the moment. And you know, how well you do will determine how well I do. And I said, what do you mean? Well, you're into property. Yeah, so that will affect the number of people that then go and buy kitchens. And he then went on to say he's had a new website done and we talked around videos and so on and so forth. And he said, well, I hope this website, I really do hope this website's gonna kind of work and it's gonna make us more successful in the nicest possible way. And it made me think, and this is a question I get asked a lot by people in leadership, but especially clients that I coach, is how they can influence and control what they're doing. So in other words, if you look at a estate agency or this kind of industry, so many people talk about the market, right? So the market is the reason why they either succeed or they fail. Now, in a rising market in a estate agency, just to give you this example, in a rising market in a estate agency, so many agents say this is what they say. Oh, it's really tough at the moment. It's really challenging. You know, houses are selling so fast that anyone will take them on for any price. Anybody will take them on and charge any fee. It's really tough, it's really challenging. And in a market where it's slower and prices are probably going down, this is what you hear the same agents say. Oh, it's really tough at the moment. It's really tough. People aren't buying at the moment, are they? They're not buying. And you think to yourself, who's in control of your business? So what I looked at, it's a very simple 80-20 rule. This kicked in for me about 6-7 years ago when I was probably being managed by my business. I was controlled by the activities, the day-to-day. I was being pulled here, being pulled there. I was trying to do as much as I could do to help everybody around me. So I was in charge of this, I was doing that, I was listing houses, I was selling, I was taking photographs, I was doing everything, right? You stuck a broom up my backside, I'd have been the cleaner. But that wouldn't have made me a really great business owner. In fact, at that time, I was pretty much just self-employed. So was I in control of my business back then? No, actually, because 80% of what I was focusing on, can you see this, Bill? 80% of what I was focusing on at the time was around things that I couldn't control. I was not in control. Okay, hope that makes sense. And what I was just talking about with the agents just then, and the agent mindset, and in business, the guy that I've just talked about in the kitchen guy's mindset, is that they're not in control of their success, their destiny, right? They're hoping that some magic will happen, some good fortune, some things will just come out of the blue and everything's going to be okay. It won't be, right? Business isn't about that. If you've got your own business and you're watching this today, you'll know, like me, that there's not a hope in hell, right, that magic thing will just come out of nowhere. It won't, right? And if you're waiting for it, get out of having your own business, go and be employed. Very, very simple. My theory that I came up with, 80%, 20%, we've all heard the 80-20 rule, can control. What I believe is that if I do 80% of my time on the areas that I'm strongest at, the things that I'm really good at, what could I do with the rest of the stuff that needs to be done? So it's really, really simple for me, right? My strengths were around working with people. So I thought, well, if I spend 80% of my time, right, and I'm just going to do a nice 80%, right, of my time working in the areas that I'm really good at. So conversations, maybe dealing with offers, maybe training somebody, maybe meeting somebody, networking, whatever those things look like, but basically speaking, right? If I spent most of my time doing that, what would happen to the value of the business? What would happen to the income of the business? What would happen to the reputation of the business? Well, it will go up. Why? Because I'm doing what I love, right? I'm spending more of the time doing the things that I'm great at, rather than spending 80% of my time doing the things that are holding me back, admin tasks, right? Doing administration for me is painful. Anything to do with detail is painful. So the first person I recruited in our business, which was one of the best decisions that I made, was a lady called Nikki. Nikki came in and worked with me. She'd done 80% of her stuff was administration. Right? Makes sense? I know it sounds like it makes sense, but honestly, this was the key. And this is how I built the team from just 2 people to 35 in just a course of 7 years. And that's organic growth, not forced growth, right? This isn't just for the camera. We are still growing, we are still recruiting, and we're on the edge of things like Brexit, right? In a housing market that's slowed right down if you were to look at prices. Why are we still growing when other people are closing down offices, corporate agencies gone and hit the wall, people are shutting down hundreds of branches left, right and centre, but this little independent family run business, they're growing. Wonder why? Well, it's because everybody that works with us has this 80-20 rule, right? We want you to spend your time focusing on the things you can control for 80% of your time. Does that make sense? I don't want you doing, if you're great with people and you're doing 80% admin, what's going to happen to you? Where are you going to go? How are you feeling day to day? You're going to hate what you're doing. But so many people that work in agency will resonate with this right now. So many people that work in business, that are in small organisations, where maybe it's just them and a few others, they're all trying to do a bit of everything, right? You've got people that should be paid £10 an hour to do tasks. Then you've got people that should be probably worth £100 an hour doing tasks. You've got to work out your value per hour. Where your strengths are, your business lies. So it's a very, very simple format. Over the next 7 days, what I want you to do is I want you to do a list of can control, can't control. Very simple. I do this with a lot of clients, and I want you to document on that list, very simply, all the things that you do across a week. And what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to show you, if this is all you'd need to do, right? Does that make sense? And I want you to write down as you're doing your tasks every day, all the things, all the actions, all the things that you've done. I want you to just write them down. And believe me, if you're feeling stressed at the moment, if you're feeling like business is out of control, it's because you're out of control. That's all it is. It's not the business. It's not the market, right? That guy who's doing kitchens, right? If all I did was got him on video, got him talking to the clients that have used him, got those clients that have used him to share their stories, if he really had a clear understanding of who the market was that he needed to work in and what were their pain points, what did they need from from having kitchens fitted, what did they need, what do they want, really finding out what their pain points are so he could actually help those guys to make the right decisions. If I could get him in front of those people, which is the bit that he can control and that he's really good at, what would happen to his business? Believe it or not, it would accelerate. But what he's doing, he's putting a lot of his time and energy into things that he can't control, worrying about Brexit, worrying about the market, worrying about his website working, worrying about things that he can't control, right? All I'm saying to you right now is, first of all, to know where you are, do this, right? You'll establish whether you're spending 80% of your time doing the things that you're great at, or 80% of the time doing things that you're not so good at. And all of those not so good at tasks are things that other people can take from you. That's called leverage, right? You could call it delegation, but to me, leveraging myself out of the business in the first 18 months to 2 years allowed me to do some of the most wonderful things. And those things were going away on holiday without a phone. Right, I've had 14, 13 holidays, I can't even remember now, without a phone. I'm away in about a month's time, I won't have my phone. Right? As a business owner, 7 companies, 35 staff, not having a phone, that's unheard of these days, but I can do it. Why? Because all of the people that work for me or work with me in my teams are doing what they're great at. So you've got to start with yourself as a leader. Focus on what you can control, 80% of your time. Enjoy.